It's your favorite bona fide, sanctified childcare provider, me, Linda Akins. I'm still celebrating Juneteenth, so I'm extra excited. So my topic for today really is just getting to know who Linda is, getting to understand me sharing my opinions, and you just getting to understand who Linda the childcare provider is. Let's get to it. Childcare has kind of always been my niche. I started working with kids at age 13, and I was working with 4 kids at that time, and it just kind of grew from there. I've always loved babies. They're just innocent. I feel like they're the purest form of God that we have here on earth, and I just love kids. I love their aura, the innocence of them, and I just love being able to do my part in helping to form, these little lives, and helping to, just make them better people. So childcare is really it's not something that I'm just done for money or for this and that. I actually really just love children. I love helping them. I love being a part of anything I can do to just help the kids of this world, because why not? We deal with bad children in my country by spanking them. I can't remember how many times I've heard my mom say, "Shofe jegba," and when you hear that means, do you want to get a beating? So that's how I learned how to deal with bad children growing up in my culture. However, the childcare professional in me, of course, I can't go around spanking people's kids. But honestly, I've learned that there are other ways besides spankings to deal with bad children. And honestly, I do not believe that there are bad children. I believe that they're just misunderstood children, or children that have become a victim of the things that they've encountered. And so sometimes children the only way that they can express themselves is to result in bad behavior, or to result in destructive actions that we adults may look at what's wrong with this child? So I don't think children are bad. As far as dealing with them, it really depends on the age range. I try my best to kind of just relate to kids that are older. I try to relate to them with my experience. I try to relate to them and talk to them so they can know that I'm not another person that's trying to judge them. I'm here to help them. I'm here to see them be great. And when I deal with younger kids, of course, I talk to them as well. I try to meet them on their level and let them know, hey, you know what, these actions are not the right way to do things, or not even the right way. I just let them know, these actions may not, be good, so let's try something else. I try to redirect my younger kids that are quote unquote bad, or I try to talk with them, communicate with them, but I never try to really discipline them to the point where they feel man, everyone just thinks I'm a bad kid, I'm horrible, I'm always getting consequence. I don't want any child that I'm with to feel like I'm just another person who thinks they're bad. That's not my goal ever. What do parents say about me? They say I'm great. I can honestly say that me as a professional, I didn't become like this because of my own thoughts and because of my own training. It's really been the families. The families have really geeked me up. The families that keep requesting me, the families that keep telling me, "Oh, Linda, you're such a great professional," the families that teach me, and the moms that actively work with me. You guys, thank you. You guys have made me who I am, and you've made me comfortable to be able to say that I am a childcare professional. And I'm not the guru, but I'm definitely learning each day from you guys, learning through my education, learning through experiences, and I just want to thank you. And because of that, other parents are able to, refer me. The other parents are able to say, yes, we love her, she's great. And I just want to thank you guys for that. a lice technician has been the most interesting job that I have ever had. The name says it all. Literally spending hours greeting parents and their families and just combing out lice out of long hair. Some had short hair, but most of them had long hair. Doing that for hours and hours. That's why I have carpal tunnel now. That was the most interesting experience for me, because there are literally bugs on the head. You're dealing with all these people that are frantic because they have bugs on their head. Now they're worried that they're gonna give the lice to the dog, and they ask you all these questions. And I didn't know I could learn so much about head lice, especially being someone that never had head lice and never had friends who had head lice. But I know a lot about head lice now. So if you ever have questions, or if you need a head lice technician, here I am. An embarrassing moment that I've had in childcare has been when I was trying to teach my kid about, sounding out things and vowels and whatnot. And I don't know if some of you guys realize this, but a lot of my friends and some people pick up on this. I do not put emphasis on my the. A lot of times you hear me say that, or there, or the. And that's mainly because growing up, there wasn't much emphasis, at least from my country, or at least from my household, on the. So a lot of times I'll hear my parents or, people from my culture, they'll say duh instead of the. And so I didn't realize it was such an issue until I was teaching my American children about about sounding out things, and one of my children corrected me like, Miss Linda, it's not duh, it's the. And I was like, oh, well, excuse me, you didn't learn how to speak until a couple years ago, but excuse me, I've only been speaking English for how many years? But it wasn't so embarrassing, but it kind of was at the same time, because you have a little kid correcting you on how you're supposed to talk, and you're the teacher teaching them. So yes, I am working on my the. Okay? Thank you. I have only gotten in trouble one time in my 16 years of babysitting, and that was because I shouldn't have went to babysat. I was tired. I was working for I was babysitting for a family through my nanny agency. And so I shouldn't have went because I was tired. Yesterday I was already working as a nanny during the day, and I decided to babysit as well in this evening. And I hadn't gotten much sleep from the day before. I was nannying, babysitting, plus I was still in school. I'm still in school. So basically I had little to no sleep. I was running on 5 hours of sleep between both days. And so after I had put the kids to bed and I knew that they were in bed, I sat on the couch and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do some homework, watch some TV, and wait for the parents to come home. Before I knew it, I fell asleep, and I don't even remember when I fell asleep. All I remember is the family calling me a second time, because the first time I didn't pick up. They called me a second time, and they were just checking on me and checking to make sure everything was good. And they didn't tell me that they saw me sleeping on the nanny cam, which was right in front of me, catching me just snoring and slobbing. And so when they got home, they didn't say anything about me having slept. They just, basically asked me how the night went. And of course I told them, and they gave me money and they let me go. And so the next day, my nanny agency was like, oh, the family told us that you fell asleep while you were watching the kids, and that you didn't answer your phone, and they don't want to work with you anymore. And I can understand that because yes, it was a situation where, God forbid, if something had happened, I'm pretty sure I would have woke up. But you just don't want to take that chance. On the other hand, I wish that the family or the parents had addressed me when they actually came home that evening, so that I could have talked to them about it, and we could have went our separate ways mutually, and and they could have just corrected me, and I could have went about it. But they told my company, and of course my company, they scrutinized me and they told me this and that, and I felt really bad because I left that. I don't ever want to leave a negative impression on a family, at least in that perspective. I don't want them to be like, oh, she'll just fall asleep. I was just really exhausted, and so now I've learned that if I'm tired, if I'm working double, if I just cannot, I'm just not going to work. I'm just not. And if somehow I find myself babysitting or working, I'm going to have 2 5-hour energies, and I'm going to make sure that I do not sit on that big comfy couch. Something I want people to know about being a nanny is that we're just not playing with kids all day. That is not what I do. If it was that simple, trust me, I would be happy just to play with kids all day. No. Being a nanny is being a third parent in the house. And you're basically like a second mom. Because if the kids don't go to their mom, they're going to come and find you if you are in the house. That has been my experience. Sometimes I will be in the bathroom and my kids will be right outside the door. Linda, when are you going to finish? What are you doing in there? I'm using the potty. I love my kids though, but being a nanny is not just playing with them. Honestly, being a nanny, my day usually starts probably even before the parents wake up, or just when they're waking up, because I have to be at the house by the time they're getting ready to go to work. And I have to make sure breakfast is ready for the kids. Of course, I have to make sure the lunch is packed and get them ready for school, brushing their teeth, putting on their outfits, driving them to school, picking them up, taking them to their activities, fixing dinner, giving them a bath, cleaning up the house, washing the dishes. I'm basically a house mom, but I get paid for it and I can go at the end of the day. And for you house moms, thank you so much, because you guys really work your butt off. And I think with this pandemic, people will realize how not easy it is to be a teacher, a nanny, and especially a house mom. So that's all that I have for you guys today. If you have any more questions about who I am, feel free to ask. If you have any opinions, share them. If you just want to talk, message me. And I will be doing a segment, or I will start doing a segment called Listen, Linda. And that's just a segment where if you guys have any questions, childcare questions, questions maybe about my culture, because I am Nigerian. If you guys didn't know that, now you do. And just questions in general. And if you have topics, I'll also talk about that as well. So, can't wait.